guys, today I'm going to show you how to work with the Mani Mix foil shades. We've got two shades right now that are inspired by Lizzo, the wonderful artist. This one is called That Dip, and there's another one self-named Lizzo. So I'm just going to show you how to apply these in the way that I think it works best to keep sort of the look true to the product. But of course you can always experiment and do what works best for you. But this hand is completed already. I'm wearing the shade Tawny Port on 3 nails, and then on these 2 nails I have That Dip. And you can see sort of the iridescence and the gold foil. It's a sheer white base, so there's a hint or tint of white, but it's see-through and or transparent. So that look that you're going for with sort of the see-throughness means you might not do as many dips as you normally would. So we're not looking at 3 or 4 dips here with this shade. I actually like to do it in just one. So I'm going to show you how I do that. But of course, if you're not comfortable with the thickness of just one dip, you could always apply a layer of solid white underneath. You could do a layer of clear underneath. But I'm going to go ahead and just prep the nails a bit. I just removed this exact thing actually, so I could apply it again and show you. But I like to prep my nails with just wiping them with alcohol to remove any oils. And then I'm going to go ahead and use just a base and top coat product meant for dip nails. This is the Tamika one. And I wipe off my brush pretty generously so it's not a super thick amount that's going on, and just brush it on. Really like the brush application of this particular brand of base and activator. So I've got that on, and I'm going to lay my nail flat into the dip. And just tap off any excess, and you can see what we've got on there. So I'm going to take a dotting tool. You could use a toothpick or whatever you have on hand to just kind of clean up around the edges of the nail and make sure I don't have any sticking where I don't want it. Especially because I'm only doing one dip. I don't have multiple dips to kind of come in and hide any flaws. Again, you can do multiple dips if you want to. This is just the way I prefer the look of the product. So there you can see it dipped on. I'm going to give it a second to dry, and then I will be brushing it off. So let's go ahead and dip the second nail while we're waiting for that. Okay, so you can see the iridescence, you can see that it's sheer, so you can still see sort of the white tips of my nails through it, but just has a hint of white, and you can see some of those little flecks of gold in there. But since this is a foil shade, I want to amp up the gold a bit, so that's what I'm going to show you how to do next. And what you'd need on hand for that is a set of tweezers. Now what I love about this method is that you don't need clear dip. You really don't, unless you wanted to add that as a base, or if that's sort of just the way that you do dip, then by all means. But all you'll need is some tweezers to get at some of the individual gold foils. And we're going to apply them on top of what we already have here. So I'm going to take my handy nail brush, which is literally just a toothbrush that I got from the travel section at Target. Okay, so those are removed of their excess dip powder. Now I'm going to go in with more base coat, so no activator yet. I'm going to go into the base coat as if I'm going to do a second dip, but I'm not. So I'm going to apply that across the full nail. Then I'm going to pick up some of these little foils and apply them sort of wherever I want that foiled effect. So you could do as much or as little as you wanted, but I kind of think it looks cool to break it up and almost make it look marbled across the nail. Dropped a little guy right here. Let's add that on the tip. Okay, so now I have extra foil on that nail and I'm loving the way that that looks for sure. So just to do the same thing on the middle nail then, again, it's not another dip, it's just another layer of the base coat. As if you're going to dip, but then instead go ahead and strategically place the foils wherever you'd like them. And this one already had a few decent foils kind of coming through, so I think I'll just add that one little piece. So now we have that, and I love the way that looks. It's matching up nicely with what I have going on the other hand. Okay, so before I do any activator, because my activator, these foils are so fine, which helps them lay really nice, but it can disrupt your activator. So I'm going to actually take another base coat, and this is why this is so strong and really doesn't need any other dips, because you are really applying more base coat than normal to kind of encapsulate those foils. So now they are nicely encapsulated. I'm just going to give it a second to dry. And then I'm going to go in with my activator and 2 steps of base top coat, again, like I would to just finish off any manicure. And that's it. That's how you apply the foil shade in 1 dip. If you do 2 dips, it just becomes more opaque, so you see more of the whiteness in the shade. But it is still semi-sheer. If you just do 1 dip, it keeps that nice sheer look. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly run through my activator. Apply that on there. And now see, applying it on here, it's not directly touching the foil, so it's not dissolving it, it's not discoloring it in any way. And I'm going to pick up my base and top coat. Gonna grab a clean swipe of paper towel. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply that. Yes, more top coat. So it's gonna be ultra shiny. Whenever you're applying a top coat right over activator, you always wanna wipe your brush before you dip it back in. So doing that here and giving it a good wipe. We're already pretty shiny, but I'm going to go ahead and add more, because why not? Okay. And I can actually take a file to the sides or anywhere where I see, you know, any roughness to the dip, because I didn't do any buffing layer. I didn't want to buff out the foils, but that is a way that you can apply these foil shades really strategically, get as much or as little foil as you want, and make sure they're really at the surface so your manicure is shiny and gorgeous. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching.